We are live. My man Austin, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? How was your week?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty busy, but good. How's yours
Yeah.
been?
Good. Real week, man. Really busy. Excited about this week because this week, and we're on the clock right now. This week, we've decided. I had a little intervention, and a little birdie told me, Derek, let's go ahead and shorten those webinars up. We want to give people all the good raw material and let these businesses run, and take all the information that you're giving them, because of course, Austin, we're providing them with an amazing worksheet that coincides with these episodes, to help them win. And so no more hour and a half webinars unless there's tons of questions, and I love questions and I can talk all night. But in the meantime, when I bring up the slide deck, Austin, boom, 30 minutes, buddy. In and out. 30 minutes. Okay.
30 minutes.
30 minutes, man. We want people to just get enough information, but if they have questions, that's what we're here for. And also, too, upper right-hand corner, please scan the QR code for a free consultation. If you have the worksheet, which you should have, and you have additional questions, let's do the 1 hour consultation for free. Let's talk and have a lot of fun. So without further ado, Austin, what's going on, man, with the particulars for those watching? What should they be doing?
Yeah, so if you're watching this specifically on StreamYard, what you're going to want to do is click the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Make sure that you click settings and make sure that the resolution is set to 1080p. And then for the webinar worksheets, go ahead and check the chat. I dropped the link, Google Drive link for the webinar worksheets in there in the chat. So that includes this week's, but also all of the previous weeks as well, if you missed any of those. And then additionally, if you have registered for any of our webinars, you have been added to our little kind of community area. That is where we will kind of provide additional updates for these calls. And then also you can find all of the past recordings of these calls in there. So if you ever want to go back and watch these again, you can navigate to that portal. And yeah, you should see an email. Once you registered, that's when you would have gotten the link to join that community. So go back, check that, and get in there and start interacting with us.
Absolutely. And very soon we will be posting actually some updates in there, cultivating that environment, so that there's an ongoing training, so to speak, of content and information. There are a lot of people that are using our services that, they're doing it themselves. Some of them are very frustrated, but it's okay. We'll be putting updates in there for them to be utilizing, taking advantage of that. So 27 more minutes to finish up this slide deck. I say that because I am a big talker and I got to stay on point. Austin, as always, brother, thank you so much. And let's jump right in. So let me bring up the slide deck. And we want to go into today's content systems that scale. So why are we talking about content systems that scale? This is week 5 of the webinar. And this webinar is the social media blueprint. And the key here is to be consistent without the burnout, right? To be consistent without the burnout. The burnout comes by way of us not knowing what content we're going to be putting out. And we are last minute dropping information, okay, on our social media platforms. But we're not doing it with intention. It's not deliberate, and it doesn't have a strategy to it. Okay. So what we want to do is make sure that with the content that we're offering, we're actually exploring sustainable content. As you can see from this first slide here, exploring sustainable content systems that drive results without exhaustion. That's a real thing. A lot of times when we're posting content on our social media platforms from a business standpoint, okay, we can get burnt out if we're not getting the results that we want. We want results. And unfortunately, the results that we're looking for is from a lack of education. Those results that we're looking for is the vanity score, how many views, how many followers, and those are good measuring sticks. But there's other elements and analytical numbers that talk to our progress and how well we're doing outside of just the typical, how many followers do we have? How many subscribers do we have? Okay. So let's jump right into this. Now, why consistency trumps perfection? Okay. The numbers do not lie. When we look at from episode, or I should say, webinar episode 1, we talked about posting consistently. Okay. And posting consistently and posting frequently are two different things. Okay, let me give you the meaning real quick. Once again, posting frequently is posting a lot, but without a rhythm by which you're posting. All right, it's just frequent posting with no real rhythm. And if you have no rhythm, the song is off. Okay, and that's the same way in which things works with algorithms for social media. The algorithm, as we've said to you, as I've said to you 100 times, the algorithm wants to support the content creator. The algorithm wants your content. Okay, but it wants your content to have a nice melody. And that melody is founded on being a consistent poster of your content. Okay. So consistency, not frequency, but the consistency of your posts, like posting every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, right? Or twice a week, the same time every single week is what we mean when we say consistency. So brands that post consistently enjoy 2 times more engagements than sporadic posters. I'm gonna say that again. Brands that post consistently enjoy 2 times the growth of those who post sporadically. When we're posting sporadic, we're posting frequently and it's sporadic. There's no meaning behind it. Okay. As I said before, algorithms explicitly reward accounts that provide regular content that their audience can depend on. If you posted on Tuesday, next Tuesday, I want to come back here and you posted Tuesday. What also works is you let me know that you're going to post next week at the same time and be consistent with it. Okay. So today we're going to talk about that. The truth is consistency is the multiplier. What does that mean? That means that over time, you're going to be building your audience. It's almost like that snowball effect, right? That snowball effect of building and constantly posting. That's why when you have a content calendar, listen to me, when you have a content calendar, it works in your favor because now you already have what you're going to be posting ahead. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. You're going to have information that you're going to be posting ahead of time and you know what's going to be going out. You're batching your content. And so you have your deliverables and now you have so much more time to yourself. Okay. So now the psychology of consistency, we have here the algorithm benefits and the audience trust. We have the algorithm benefits and the audience trust. Platforms prioritize accounts that post on a predictable schedule. Okay. Regular posting creates data points for AI to understand your audience. Okay. AI, the algorithm, it's founded upon AI, if you didn't know that. Okay. Also, consistency signals to algorithms that you're a committed creator. All this works in your behalf. Okay. Now remember this now, posting on social media is not a microwave dinner. It's something you put in the oven and it has to cook. Okay. It's going to be cooked fully through and to be juicy. Your content is going to resonate. It's going to grow. Just because you posted and got 3 likes and maybe a couple of views, but not a lot of followers, it's okay. Keep cooking. Okay. The audience trust. Humans crave reliability and patterns. We know this. If you've ever watched something on Hulu and it's coming out every week, in fact, I'm watching a show on Apple TV right now. It's called Chief of War, something with Jason Momoa. Great show. Check it out. It views every Friday. Every Friday, I can depend on this show coming out, and I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night. It's going to be nice. So that's the thing. We want to educate and condition the audience with our content, but we want to do it on a regular basis, consistently, not frequency, the consistency of it. Okay. Regular content builds psychological safety with followers. Okay. Now, when viewers can predict when you'll show up, okay, when they know when you're going to show up, you can then start curtailing more of your content around that. Okay. And that's when you're able to start having those relationships by which you can ask your audience what they want, and they know that they can get from you what they want and see it at that time. When I say time, those days of the week, as well as those times of the day. And as I've said before, within many of these, especially YouTube, okay, the insights on IG go this far, but not as in depth. But you can be told from the algorithm what days and what times are the best times to post. Okay, this is very important. Now, the 3-part content system. We've talked about this before, but let's go into it a little bit more. Okay. The 3-part content system. These are content pillars. Recently, I had somebody ask me, Derek, I was in the webinar. Can you remind me again, what are content pillars again? Okay. Content pillars really escapes individuals. The content pillars, I'm going to say this again. Your content pillars are nothing more than topic ideas on the subject of the service and products that you're offering. So how are you going to talk about your services and products? Under what umbrella? Under a topic that you're offering. And there are a variety of those for your content pillars. Let's look at them. So you have number one, you have education, you have authority, and you have story. Okay. You have education, you have authority, and you have story. Okay. What we always fail to forget is the offer. Okay. The CTA, the offer, the benefit, the why, the where am I going to go? So watch this. Education, content that teaches your audience something valuable related to your expertise. Okay. So let's go over an example of that. What is that? How to videos, tutorials, expert tips, industry insights. Okay. Let me give it to you again real quickly. How to videos. Okay. Tips, tutorials, industry insights. If you're offering a service, if you're offering a product as a business, you can offer all of these different nuances as examples of your content deliverables. Okay. Number two, your authority. Content that positions you as a credible expert in that field. Now, I'm always pushing and talking about here at AK Social, we're talking about LinkedIn all the time because I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is valuable and LinkedIn is where you'll build that authority. Okay. But what type of content should you put on there? Here's a cheat sheet. Case studies, results-driven information. Okay. Testimonials, industry analysis. Okay. For your product, let's do a little bit of homework on what your product offers from a case study standpoint. What problems has your products and services solved? Okay. What testimonials have you been able to galvanize from people who you've blessed with your services and products? What good things have people said about your products and services? Okay. Let's put that into a story, as well as industry insights. You're in the industry, industry analysis. So what's going on in the industry and the services and products that you're offering? Right? It shows that you're not just selling a product. It shows that you're the expert on selling that product and you're an expert on the product itself. Okay. That gives you the authority. Now, story. This is huge because last week I was quite exhaustive about going over story and giving you information on how to properly tell the story without sounding salesy. Okay. Now, with story, it's the content that results or builds connections through relatability and personal experiences. Okay. So with your story, you want to have a pain point in your story and you want to talk about a solution. But watch this. You don't have to say our brand and our product did X, Y, and Z. No. You will present that story as though there's an individual that was maybe downtrodden and they had a situation. And by utilizing your services, their issues were remedied. Okay. That's you offering your story. And the solution is the unspoken, which is your product and services. And all the time when you do that with your stories, please have CTAs telling people where to go. When you're posting, make sure that you're telling people where to go. What's the off-ramp that people are going to utilize when they see your video, when they see your article, when they see your carousel for your business? What are the lead magnets where you're taking people? You're holding their hand with your content. Now, where are you leading them? Okay. That's what your story does for them. Okay. Remember that. Now, the offer. I just hinted at it. The offer. Number 4, content that invites your audience to take the next step with you. Listen to me. Steve Jobs said this years ago, and you know what I'm about to say. I say it all the time. Your audience, your consumer does not know what they want until you tell them. Okay. We live in a very fast-paced world where I'm looking to my right, looking to my left, and I'm distracted. So to keep my concentration on your product and your brand, you have to tell me what to do. I'm serious. You really have to hold my hand and walk me through the process. You offer this amazing video. The thumbnail looks great. The content is really good. You're showing your teeth. You're smiling. It's really compelling. And then your video goes off and that's it. And I may not never see you again. That's terrible. Don't do that. You want to do everything I just said. And in addition to that, give me your offer. Walk me down the rabbit hole to success to now get the remedy that you're offering me. Here's an example. Service highlights, product features, okay? Limited time promotions. All of those examples can be formulated within a CTA. A CTA, again, is a call to action, all right? Now, rotating through these pillars ensures that your content stays balanced and strategic, preventing the what should I post today paralysis, okay? Please, we've experienced this. Do not put yourself in a situation where you are trying to figure out that day what you're posting that day. If you haven't decided on what you're going to post that day, don't post anything. Some people say, Derek, you shouldn't say that. I'm saying it. Okay. That's lazy posting, and it's going to cause you to be frustrated. Always pregame your content as a business, as a non-business. If you're just an influencer, pregame your content. Okay. Now, the three-part content system, but it's batch creation. A little bit of this will be reviewed from about 2 weeks ago, but we're going to go over this again. This is important. Okay. The batching method. What is batching? Okay. Instead of creating content daily, watch this now, which leads to burnout. It does, because every single day, no days off, you're trying to create content. That's not practical. We don't want to burn out. You shouldn't be burnt out. Okay. In fact, we're a social media agency and we batch. Okay. We don't get burnt out. We love what we do, but we have to have a balance as well. Okay. So having a focus of blocking time or time blocking, okay, to create multiple pieces of content at once is going to be a lifesaver for your brain and your peace of mind. All right. So watch this. One 60-minute session can generate 5 to 7 short form videos, 2 to 3 carousel posts. These are just examples. Okay. A week's worth of captions. Okay. And again, this can be depending on your workload. In 60 minutes, there's a lot you can do, but these are examples. And to be quite frank, or I should say, to be honest with you, you can create more than 5 to 7 short form videos and 2 to 3 carousel posts in 60 minutes. You can do much more than that. Okay. This is a bit low end in my personal opinion. But again, if you're just starting out, or if this maybe seem like too much, or if this is the sweet spot for you, let me say it that way, then posting in 60 minutes, creating a batch of content that's going to go off that week of 5 to 7 short form videos with 2 to 3 carousel posts, okay, is a plethora of content for the week. And it took you an hour to do it. Okay. This is real. Okay. Now, by doing this, as you can see here, there are a lot of batching benefits. Okay. You're reducing setup and time, camera and preparation, maintains consistent quality and aesthetics. I mean, like when you do this in say 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, right? For me, a lot of times when I'm batching content that we're doing for clients, I am batching the content, but I like it. I love the editing process. When I see edits from our team, I'm like, wow, that's really, really cool. And so it really gets good to us. And then when we see the results of the numbers, it's kind of fun. And you kind of want to stay in that batching process a little bit longer. You don't have to do that. We kind of geek out like that, but you don't have to do that as a business. But it does create that momentum and flow state that makes it very rewarding. Okay. Significantly reduces decision fatigue because again, you're not doing something last minute. And it also frees mental bandwidth between creation sessions. Okay. If you're doing something every single day, it can get stressful. Okay. And we want to see the results of our work. Of all of our labor, we want to see those results. So we don't want to fatigue out. Okay. Now, the 3-part content system scheduling tool. How do we schedule things? And by the way, as we're going through this slide deck, remember, upper right-hand corner, the free consultation. Please scan the QR code. I myself would love to sit with you in a one-on-one free consultation for 1 hour and talk about your business, your strategies that you're trying to figure out. How do you create all the things that we're talking about here? We can go over them. And also too, as Austin mentioned before, over in the chat, there is our worksheet for this week. Please download that worksheet. If you have questions about the worksheet, scan the QR code. We can go over it. Okay, now let's talk about this 3-part content system scheduling tools. Okay, now these tools, why are we marketing other tools and not AKIT Social? I'm assuming you're asking that question. It's okay. Because we want you to utilize all the services necessary to win. AKIT Social, we are a very reputable and results-driven agency. Yes, we're really good. Yeah, we're really good. However, as a business, if you want to use other services like Buffer, what is Buffer? Buffer is like, let's say Sprout Social, where it will schedule out your posts because you're batching and now you have your videos, you have your shorts or whatnot, and you can put it into the Buffer system and I was going to say hit go. But more or less what it does is it pushes out your content for the week or months ahead. Okay. Now, later, more visually focused at scheduling out tools perfect for Instagram and whatnot. It works very similar to Buffer. It has some of its different nuances. It utilizes AI. Buffer is getting better at utilizing AI, but these are two services that are really, really cool. Now, Metricool, okay, it isn't all it okay. It says it's an all-in-one platform for scheduling, doing some of the same things. Okay. I would say that with Metricool, I've noticed that its analytics are pretty robust. Okay, a little bit more robust than later. So they all pretty much do the same thing, but their styles are different. Okay, these are not CRMs. Okay, but they do have some of the behaviors of a CRM, like a Monday. But it is not Monday. This is not Asana or nothing like that. Okay, this is for you scheduling out your posts and software that also has analytics involved, integrated into its offerings. And so these are things that, since you finished your batching, where do you put them? Do you want to post manually? You can do that, or you can put it into a service that does it for you. Or if you want the big picture, you can use ACAT Social. And what ACAT Social does is we do all of it for you. We schedule, we edit, we post. You don't have to do anything but just create your content and upload it into the ACAT Social repository. Okay. Now, if you want the best of everything, that's what ACAT Social would do for you. You get in front of the camera, as you see me doing today. You create your content, and then when you're done with that content, you just upload it into your repository. Okay. And we do everything. We'll edit it for you. We put it on the platforms where it needs to be. We do your analytics. We do all the strategizing as to what goes next, what platforms need to go out, what articles need to be written. You don't write one article. We do everything. But if you don't want to utilize our services, and you're thinking about it, then utilize these smaller services for the little bitty things that you need to do. Buffer later, as well as Metricool. Why Buffer over something like Sprout Social? Sprout Social can be quite expensive if you've ever utilized it. Okay. Now, the true power of scheduling isn't just time saving, it's mental freedom. I can't emphasize that enough. Okay. So moving right along, the repurposing engine. The repurposing engine. It is good to understand how to properly repurpose your content. Okay. Now, create one cornerstone piece. Create one cornerstone piece. All right. Now, record a 10 to 15 minute video. Okay. On a topic from the content pillars that you create. Also on the worksheet, it goes into more depth with this, and you can write things down. But this is stating record a 10 to 15 minute in-depth video. Okay. So now you have this 10 to 15 minute video, that one piece of content. Okay. Now, slice that piece of content into platform specific content. Now, if this is your first time at this webinar, and you've missed the other webinars, go back and watch them. I go in detail about the specifications on different platforms from one piece of content and how you tailor that content for the specific platforms. You can't post something on YouTube and expecting great results like you would on Instagram or TikTok. The platforms are different. So watch this now. Extract 3 to 5 short clips, 30 to 60 seconds for TikTok Reels and Shorts from that one piece of content. Also pull the audio. The audio would be the MP3 from that video, okay, for a podcast snippet, okay? In addition, transcribe for blog or LinkedIn articles. That video, you can take the transcriptions. How do I get the transcriptions of a video? Go to Google Chrome, go into the free extensions and pull out the AI transcriber. There's plenty of them, okay? Create quote graphics for Twitter, Instagram. How would I do that? You would go to Canva and create an account and create quotes that came from that one video. So watch this now. You have one 10 to 15 minute video. You created 3 to 5 shorts that are 30 to 60 seconds for TikTok in the form of shorts, reels, for TikTok, shorts, reels, shorts for YouTube, reels for Instagram, and a TikTok. Okay. You pull the audio for podcast. You transcribe the blog as an article for your LinkedIn, and you created quotes that I would also recommend you put on LinkedIn, and you can also put that on Instagram from that one video. Isn't that from one video you did that? Okay. Now, customize the wrapper. Watch this. Adapt format, tone, and call to actions, CTAs again, for each platform's unique culture and audience expectations. Again, if you've missed the previous episodes, we talk about what all that means. We advise you to go over that, okay? Because this content as a business will help you to win. Trust me when I tell you that. Now, this approach means creating one piece of like thorough content, okay? Thoughtful content can fuel entire social presence for days, for a whole week at this pace, okay? Without feeling repetitive to your followers. Again, you don't want to keep posting the same thing every day. You don't want to just create some content that's 10 to 15 minutes long, you cut it, and then all of a sudden that content is being repurposed onto Twitter, TikTok, the same, and looks the same, and it's just boring. No. Those platforms require finesse based on its own individual algorithm. So what does that look like? We talk about that, okay? Now, the 30-day content calendar framework. This is really big. This is really big. I want you to really zoom in and focus on this, okay? Watch this now. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the weekend. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the weekend, okay? Watch this. On Monday, what do you post? You make an educational post. Share experience, teach a skill, explain a concept from your product and services, okay? Follow me. What do I do on Tuesday? You rest. Oh, really? Yes, you rest. You enjoy yourself. Then what do I do on Wednesday? In fact, on Wednesday, you do the same thing. You rest. You enjoy yourself. Because remember what I said, you batched your content. And so now all the content is just being delivered. You don't have to manually do it, okay? So what's the content going out on Wednesday? Glad you asked. On Wednesday, we're going to offer some stories that are relatable posts, okay? So share the journey behind the scenes, which are normally as known as BTSs, okay? Or personal insights. Again, it's going to make your content throughout the week very relatable, very different, very educational, all that good stuff, okay? Wednesday, now Friday, what are we posting? We're going to put some offers out there. It's conversational posts, okay? Now, so Derek, are you saying offer? Are you referring to CTAs? Yes and no. So you're going to be having CTAs, call to actions, in all of your content. But when we say offer or conversational posts, this is what we mean. You're going to invite action, okay? You're going to highlight the services that we offer and how they benefit individuals, okay? We're going to start being braggadocious about how amazing our services are. That's what we're talking about here, okay? We're going to demonstrate the actual value in our services, okay? That's what we're doing. So on Monday, it's educational posts. On Wednesday, we have the story and the relatable posts. And then on Friday, we're offering the more conversational posts about how amazing our services are, okay? Now, on the weekend, we're going to offer more engaging posts. And I would say on the weekends, post on Saturday as opposed to Sunday, unless the algorithm tells you otherwise, okay? Now, engagement posts, make them fun, make them interactive content that encourages, content with comments and shares, content that has music behind it. Always put some music behind it. Content that's smiling and laughing and joyful and its energy and its good spirited content on the weekends. That's what we want. That's what people want to see. Okay. This simple structure eliminates the paralysis. I love that, of deciding what to post. Okay. Notice it's only 4-day posts. Okay. So it's only 4 posts in the first week. Well, I shouldn't say first week. There are just 4 posts in this week. You got Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'm going to say on a Saturday. Okay. Now, quality and consistency beats quantity. I got to post 5 posts a day. Don't get burnt out. No. Again, we have a relationship with the algorithm. We have to love the algorithm. Okay. The algorithm just wants you to be consistent, not super frequent and tons of content. No, just be consistent with good content. Okay. Now, for most small businesses, I'm going to read this to you. This level of posting strikes the perfect balance between maintaining presence and managing workload. Okay. Because I've seen so many channels do very well, but they get burnt out, and they were right at the cusp of greatness because you can see the algorithm working for them. Okay. It opens the floodgates. As you grow, you can gradually increase frequency. I'm going to say that again. As you grow, you can gradually increase your frequency. You come out the gates like a greyhound, and your last minute things. Don't do that. Okay. I said I'm going to be 30 minutes. I got a few seconds. So here we go. Let's keep on pushing. All right. Implementation. Start small, stay consistent. Start small, stay consistent. Don't look to the right and to the left. Do not worry about what the Joneses are doing over there, or those that are in your industry and how their social media is so robust and their thumbnails look great. Don't worry yourself with that. Let's look at these foundations, okay? Now, let's look at what we have here with week 1, week 2, 3, and 4. Week 1, Your foundation, you're starting off. Okay. But I've already been posting. Let's create a foundation. Define your 3 to 4 content pillars. Again, with the worksheet, download the worksheet in the chat. It's going to help resonate with this slide deck here. Listen to me. 3 to 4 content pillars. Choose one scheduling tool. What are the scheduling tools? I'm going to go back. What are the scheduling tools? You have Buffer, you have Ladder, and you have Metricool. Okay, Metricool. Or you can utilize ACAT services. All right. Now, you have choosing a scheduling tool. It's big. All right. That you're going to use. Block 2 hours for your first batch creation. Just block out 2 hours. That's your foundation. Okay. Now, number 2, creation. Create 2 weeks of content. That's 8 posts. Okay. Schedule everything in advance. Document your process for efficiency. Okay. Let me talk about that just real quickly here. Documenting your process for efficiency. Okay. As you're creating your content pillars, as you're creating the content that's going to go out, right? I want you to log how long it took you to do this. Start, finish. Don't get distracted. Stay focused. Okay. Turn your phone off. Stop checking your text messages and not. Stay in your groove. Okay. Refinement. Okay. Review performance matrix. I'm going to say when you start out, every 2 weeks, don't be looking at your numbers all the time. Every 2 weeks, look at your numbers. Okay. Adjust content mix based on engagements. Engagements are big because the more engagements, the algorithm is going to love you more. A little bias there. Okay. Now, create next 2 weeks of content. When you do that, it's going to work in your favor. Create the next 2 weeks of your content. Number 4, the expansion. Okay. Implement repurposing strategies. We talked about that. Taking that 10 to 15-minute video and repurposing it as such. You can start off doing that if you like. Okay. Now, create full 30-day calendar eventually. Okay. Then start recurring batch days in your schedule. Okay. What days are best days for you to create your batch of content? Remember this, please. The goal isn't perfection. We're not focusing on perfection. The goal here is consistency. Okay. And doing our batch creation process to give us time and freedom because the algorithm is going to work for us. Okay. It's the sustainable momentum that is where most people miss it when it comes to social media. And most businesses have no idea how to create sustainable momentum in social media. And this is exactly how you do that. Okay. Even a simple system executed consistently will outperform complex strategies that you can't maintain. I'm going to read that again to you. Even a simple system executed consistently will outperform complex strategies that you can't maintain. Again, there are tons of social media strategies out there, and they can sound frustrating, and it can sound like it's heavy lifting. Start with these strategies right here. Okay? Systems beat motivation every single time. Let the system work for you. Create this system of batching. You will not get frustrated. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Like that? That wasn't mine. This guy named James Clear. Check him out. Atomic Habits. He a bit of a thought leader, and he's absolutely right. At ACAT Social, we maintain a process of systems. Okay, we know these systems very well. And when I'm speaking to most clients and businesses about what they're doing and what they're not doing and how good their social media is or isn't, automatically our mind goes into system overdrive. We know where to plug this in because of the brand or the services being rendered, because we understand what systems work. Do all systems work for everything? No, but most systems do work if you implement them. Almost like they say, most diets work. Is can you be disciplined enough to do the diets, right? So the content creators who succeed long-term aren't necessarily the most talented. And I can tell you that firsthand. Most of those that are talented or those that are succeeding on social media aren't like the most attractive people. They, oftentimes don't have the best lighting. Their videos are not in 4K. They don't have the $10,000 camera. Many times it's the smartphone that they have that they're making a monthly payment on. They bought a cheap ring light from Amazon, and they're just being consistent with their posting. Okay. So a 30-day content calendar is going to do wonders for you. And this is how you create it. Okay. So in the chat, there is the worksheet. Once you download the worksheet, okay, please download the worksheet. It's going to do wonders for you because it gives you a few questions, a little exercise as to what information it wants you to put in. If you have any additional questions about that, please scan the QR code. Let's set up a consultation. I'd love to join you in this consultation for 1 hour, and we can go over all the ins and outs on how to make your business successful. All right. As always, it's a wonderful pleasure to talk to you guys. Next week, we're going to have week 6. We're going to be going over some pretty critical information. I'm always going to be reviewing information from the week before, just a little bit, but this is progressive. And so I can't go back and do too much talking about the things we talked about, but that is on our YouTube channel. And as Austin said before, for those signing up for the webinar, we do have the ACAT social portal, which is so super dope. And there'll be some updates in there as well. It's more or less our Facebook environment. Okay. So see you guys next week. Same time, Thursday, 5 p.m. Arizona time. You see how I just did that? We're being consistent. Same time every week. All right. You guys take care. Have a good one.